the biggest percentage of the Christendom is struggling and striving through the bondage of slavery. But it's hard to understand it because there are testimonies even among slaves. Did you know there are testimonies even among slaves? There are testimonies even among slaves. Who is a slave? Let me first define that, because you might assume you know. But I want us to define a slave. Who or what is a slave? What is slavery, if I should ask? Slavery is the ultimate violation of one's autonomy by another. It's the ultimate violation of one's autonomy by another. Or rather, it's a state where one is denied of their fundamental right of self-determination. That's slavery. Where one is denied of their fundamental right of self-determination. Let me explain what it means. It means when God created us and gave us the blessing of sonship, you are not to be limited, brought under the control by any man. Nobody in the world has the right to determine how wealthy you should be. Nobody in the world has the right to determine how healthy you should be. Nobody in the world should determine how far you can go. Nobody in the world should determine how big you should be. No situation, prevailing or otherwise, should determine or define or rate you in the world of men. That's what they call being free. Freedom is not about being able to drive out of your compound with an expensive car. That's not freedom. And people who are driving out of their compounds with very expensive cars, but they're under a slavery of something else. Something else. They're under the slavery of demonic oppression. Some things strangle them at night where you're not. They don't have peace in their businesses. They don't have peace in their careers. They don't have peace in their dreams. Their dream world is tormented. When you achieve a place where no man can limit you in the world, where no man can deny your right to access anything by God, that means you're a free person. Take, for instance, we're living in a third world country. The other day I was reading, they said, in some parts of the world, third world nations, like Uganda and the rest, they expect that there's an average income of a Ugandan. There is a predicted life expectancy of a Ugandan. There is a prediction of how you should live. There's a prediction of how you should build. There's a prediction of how you should evolve. There's a prediction of where you should be and how you should be placed in life. Now, albeit it's not direct, but there's a deliberate work that plans for us as third world citizens. Even when we walk to some embassies, they treat us like third world citizens. I don't know, or I've not seen a situation where somebody from a first world country can apply to come to a third world country and they tell them, we're sorry, we're going to reject your visa because we don't see cause for you to return back to your country. But when it comes to some of us, when we apply to those nations, they will say, we don't see. They might even use the word logical cause why you should return to your country. It's a must if somebody comes to us with these kinds of credentials or this kind of profile. Evidently, they're escaping from their world. Are you listening to me? Now, somebody can say, I'm free. But what do you mean by you're free? What do you mean by you're free? Are you free because you can drive a second-hand car? Used car? Huh? Are you free because you can afford a very oily meal? We come from a generation that thought that if somebody can access much food, that means that person is free. Like I said, there are testimonies even among the enslaved. If you remember the children of Israel, when they had left Egypt, when they were getting into the promised land through the wilderness, they compared the state they were in the wilderness with the experiences of Egypt. And they said, oh, we miss the cucumbers. We miss the watermelons, the garlics, the leeks, and all the fish that we ate when we were in what? Egypt. And now see, we're eating manna every day. Manna every day. Now, these men, even though God was on the agenda of delivering them from bondage at one particular point, because of many years of slavery, got to a place where they never knew anymore the difference between freedom and slavery. Why? Because their slavery, the definition of freedom was denigrated to the level of food.